We got some rather unfortunate news for boxing fans. Teofimo Lopez has tested positive for COVID-19, and because of his positive test, his bout versus George Kambosos will be moved to August 14th. So, yeah, actually, Teofimo Lopez, he did talk, he tweeted about this, and he said in these tweets, and I quote, "By now you heard the news that I have had to withdraw from the fight due to COVID. Being a champion means doing hard things, no exceptions, and I choose to keep my fellow athletes safe." That's part one. And he said, "I am devastated to disappoint so many people. I know the sacrifices we have all made to get here. I believe I am doing the right thing. I don't want to infect anybody. Sport has power. I choose to use my power to be a good example." Part two. And he said, "The most powerful thing I can do is protect those I love. And I love the sport of boxing and all the athletes, fans, trainers, my sponsors, and promoters. Thank you, everyone, for your well wishes. I appreciate your support." That was part three. And this is very, very, very interesting, Nate. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. So Lopez said that he had a running high fever and he had some trouble breathing, and he actually has asthma. So that's a bad combination with COVID and asthma, and it makes dealing with COVID-19 more difficult. And the decision to postpone the fight was difficult. Lopez said he could not recover in time for Saturday, and instead of like deciding to travel with the diagnosis, he decided to stay in Las Vegas because that's where he tested positive, opposed to going to Miami. And before, again, I'm gonna start off with this first, Nate. But before I do, there's one little piece of information that I think is very, very interesting. So this fight was going to be on Triller, and it was going to be held at the Lone Depot Park, which is where the Miami Marlins play. But on August 14th, the Miami Marlins have a home game scheduled that night, which means Triller will have to find a new location to have the fight. And Triller actually, the co-founder Ryan Kavanaugh of Triller, he said, and I quote, "We send our best to Teofimo and his family and hope they get well soon. And looking forward to seeing this epic battle on August 14, 2021." And then what do you call it? Kambosos actually he made a quote, and this is what he said. And this is a very, very let's just put this, it's not too positive towards Teofimo Lopez, okay? He said, "Your actions and decisions have affected not only our fight, but everyone involved in this fight. Pure irresponsibility on your side. Our time will come, and I promise you in the world, I'm going to take you out worse than ever for everything." He said, "Absolutely devastated. I will be champion. Thank you to everyone for the support worldwide." And he said, "Absolutely devastated. I have been away from my kids for 13 weeks. I flew my pregnant wife over to be by my side. I put every bit of my life into this camp with my team. I would have been undisputed champion this week. I know it and you know it. Your actions and decisions have affected not only our fight, but everyone involved in this fight. Pure irresponsibility on your whole side. Our time will come, and I promise you in the world that I'm going to take you out worse than ever for everything. You can run, but you can't hide. As hard as it is to comprehend this right now, I remain focused on the end goal. I will be champion of the world. Thank you to everyone for the support worldwide." And yeah, Nate, we will talk about this fight like the day before it happens, or on the Friday before the actual fight on Saturday. I believe this is probably going to be. So we will give our predictions on that. But I'll start off with this first, okay, Nate? But before I do, the source for this article was Cameron Wolf, ESPN staff writer. All right, let me start off with this first. First of all, to Teofimo Lopez, I do wish him the best of luck in a full recovery. Like I know the story about him having asthma, and I heard about it. I heard about the story before he fought Lomachenko. You know, he had very, very heavy asthma, and it really did affect him as a kid. But he ended up continuing to box, and he pursued his boxing career, and it looked like it paid off, Nate, because that is the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. So I understand like the struggle, you know, and like I said, this is why we always wish everyone the best of luck when they have COVID, because it affects everyone differently. And Teofimo Lopez is a well-conditioned athlete. You know, again, when you're a boxer, you have to be well-conditioned. So the fact that COVID is like hitting him this hard, and the fact that he has asthma and COVID do not mix very well. You know, it makes it hard to breathe. Like he said, he had a high running fever, and that's stuff like you can't just go with, you know. Now, again, I want to go to the Kambosos tweet, okay? But look, I think this was a little harsh by Kambosos, you know? We could say shame on him and everything like that, but at the end of the day, we do wish him a full recovery. You know, that's what we do wish out of him, because nobody deserves COVID and nobody deserves to get affected as bad as certain people do, you know, especially when you have asthma. You don't deserve that type of thing. You know, that makes it even harder to deal with it. So I think this was a little bit of an insensitive tweet by Kambosos. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. And again, like, I do wish Kambosos the best of luck in that fight, but I just think this is a very insensitive tweet by Kambosos. It doesn't say like in the article that Teofimo was it doesn't say if Teofimo was doing anything that or where he caught it. It doesn't say anything like that. It just says that he ended up catching COVID. And that was that. I understand why Teofimo Lopez is. George Kambosos. I understand why he is upset in this tweet where he said, "I've been away from my kids for 13 weeks," and that does something to you. When you're not there with your kids, that definitely does something to you. But at the same time, that is just a very insensitive tweet. Okay, it doesn't matter what's going on. It's a very insensitive tweet. Like I'll give you a perfect example. When Ryan Garcia decided to take time away from boxing to focus on his mental health, right? Guys like even Gervonta Davis, guys who those two as are bitter rivals, you heard them talk crap to each other back and forth. Guys like Gervonta Davis and Teofimo Lopez even wished him the best, They weren't insensitive. Despite that, they realized it was a lot bigger than boxing, and they wished him the best of luck. They wished that he would get into the they wish him the absolute best of luck with his mental health, and that's what it should be. This is just very insensitive. You know what Kambosos said. I understand why you're upset. Being away from your kids for 13 weeks, that does do something to you. You have a pregnant wife, and you flew her. That's obviously, you have a lot going on in your mind. You have a chance to become the undisputed world champion. But at the same time, that's just a very insensitive tweet by Kambosos, And again, he has to also realize that this is a man who has COVID, and it's hitting him pretty bad. So he's also got to realize that too. But overall, Nate, getting back to the Teofimo Lopez situation, I think it will be a good fight. I do wish Teofimo the best of luck. I hope that he does recover from this, and I hope that he will be ready come August 14th. And the other thing I want to mention too, Nate, is when you're a boxer, that really does affect you when you have COVID. Because you got to be because here's the thing, in order to be a boxer, I believe boxing has to be your whole life. Obviously, you have like your wife and your kids, and they're part of your life and everything like that. I get that. But at the same time, when you're a boxer, Nate, you can't worry about a lot. You have to be in the gym as much as possible, preparing yourself to be well conditioned. And that's what the champs do. You see Canelo countless hours in the gym. You see guys like Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia when they are training, countless hours in the gym, countless hours of working out. Gervonta Davis, just preparation, everything like that. Floyd Mayweather, he'd be like in the gym he'd be in the gym probably, I want to say a good like 15 plus hours a day. So you have to be very committed as a boxer and as a championship boxer in general in order to keep your body well maintained. And this COVID thing, again, I'm glad that they did push it to August, so it gives Teofimo Lopez a little more time to get his body back after he recovers. But it does affect you as a boxer, But with that being said, to Teofimo Lopez, I do wish him the best of luck. I hope that he does recover from this. And again, I hope that he will be ready for August 14th.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to Teofimo Lopez. Best of luck to both guys. I'll wish him best of luck, anyways. Yeah, going back to that tweet, Mario, I didn't really like it either. I understand. Like you mentioned, he's been away from his kids. He's been away from his family. I understand that. That doesn't mean you get to take it out on everybody else. You know what I mean? I understand being away from the ones you love is it can hurt sometimes. I get that. But taking it out on everybody else is not gonna solve your problem. Okay, I get it, but at the end of the day, you gotta be respectful of what's going on. And I do understand, you were very hyped about the fight and whatever. But again, it doesn't mean you get to go out there and freaking tweet out and try and be harsh about it. So, I get what he's feeling, but that's just unnecessary. Going to Teofimo Lopez, yeah, absolutely, Mario. Going to asthma. I know my mother and my brother have it. I know my brother got COVID a few months ago, and it affected his asthma. Not as bad, but it did get in the way. So asthma does do a lot of things, especially when you're an athlete and you have asthma. That definitely does hurt a lot. At least from what I hear, because I don't really suffer from asthma. So, but I do hear a lot of athletes who have asthma. It hurts a lot.
Yeah, I have asthma. And it used to be worse when I was younger. As I got older, I kind of like not grew out of it. I still have it, but it doesn't affect me as much. I'll get like that like wheezing like occasionally, like probably like once every month, So that happens. So I understand what it's like. I never had COVID though. So I can't tell you what that mix of COVID and asthma like feels like. I can't tell you that, but I know how asthma feels like, you only can with asthma, you can only do so much before you're short out of breath,
Right,
and before
absolutely.
like you start having those wheezing symptoms and everything like that. So I understand how it is hitting him pretty hard.
Absolutely. And one thing that's interesting is they have to find a new venue for it because it was supposed to be at the Lone Depot Park, which is where the Marlins play. I do find that very interesting. But that's the thing, you got to be careful, especially when you're playing boxing events and baseball venues. You got to be very, very careful, especially in this time of the year, because it's hard to. Because like we mentioned a lot, baseball goes on pretty much every single day. So I do wish them the best of luck in trying to find a new venue. Same thing with Teofimo Lopez. I do wish him the best of luck. And same thing with George Kambosos. I wish him the best of luck as well. I'm not gonna wish anything bad on him. He makes one tweet and that's it. Just move on from it. But best of luck to both players, and again, best of luck to them in trying to find a new venue to have their fight in, and we'll wait for the fight, Mario, and we can't wait for it.